Have you ever tried to speak to everyone and found that no one was listening? So imagine trying to be everything to everyone. That's how you become nothing to anyone. In today's video, we're going to be diving into narrow your focus, the N and the only framework, the key to making your message unforgettable. My name is Brett Holtzman, and I've spent years helping people like you turn chaos into clarity. And today I'll show you how to stop blending in and start standing out by zeroing in on exactly who you help and how. So let me tell you about one of my clients, Darlene. Darlene's a perfect example of this. She had countless credentials, multiple master's degrees, 6 Sigma black belt, energy healing training, but her message was a jumble. She wanted to help people over 40 who are living paycheck to paycheck and don't know how they got there financially. But she was offering everything under the sun. Her power was in group healing, not one-on-one sessions. And I remember her telling me, my power is in groups, not one-on-ones. My niche market is people over 40 who are living paycheck to paycheck and don't know how they got there financially. That's clarity, focusing on exactly who she serves and what she does. That clarity transformed her business. And this is the heart of narrowing your focus. Be the specialist, not the generalist. Be the specialist, not the generalist. When you try to help everyone, you end up resonating with no one. As I often say, specific is unforgettable. General is invisible. Specific is unforgettable. General is invisible. Your ideal client should be able to see themselves in your message instantly. Let's take Sharon. Sharon's another client. For instance, she spent 38 years in healthcare. She was a nurse, a manager, a healer, and she felt pulled in too many directions. When we started, she was juggling healthcare veteran, financial coach, sound healer, all 3 of those at once. She told me, I love the people in healthcare. That's why I want to go back and give back. In that moment, she found her focus, not generic financial wellness, but helping healthcare professionals specifically. Narrowing to financial healing for healthcare workers. And that gave her message the power it needed. By focusing on just one audience, burnout nurses, stressed doctors, tech-weary therapists, Sharon became the only person in her niche who truly gets them. When Sharon embraced this focus, everything clicked. She went from confusing clients, do you do coaching or sound healing or money stuff, to crystal clear clarity. I'm the financial coach who truly understands you because I've walked in your shoes. Her story resonated because she spoke directly to a specific audience's pain. In fact, Sharon said she wanted to help nurses carry 6-figure student debt who feel burned out. She wanted to help them. So she put it like this: nurses burn out pretty fast, and then they stay in it because they're making good money. They don't see that they can leave. I want to be the one that comes in and says, oh, yes, nurse, you can. You can create whatever you want. I want to pull you out of the mud when you're stuck and hand you the life that you deserve, that you want. And that's a narrow, powerful promise. So if you feel like Sharon or Darlene did, you're talented, you're caring, but you're scattered, listen up. The secret is cutting away anything that doesn't serve your one audience and one solution. Stop saying I help everyone and start saying I help the specific person with this specific result. I know I'm speaking to you. We want to help everyone. Don't. Start saying I help this specific person with this specific result, and it will get to the right person. In marketing terms, you need a niche. In branding terms, you need to own your slice of the market. And you know, I struggled with this too, and have been. Early in my TV career, I was a producer and working for a network eventually. My shows were the brand, but not me, because I wasn't allowed to have a personal brand. I was just the guy behind the screen. And all my work was about the program, not me. And that's okay. That's the world that I chose. And as I discovered later, your brand is simply your reputation when you're not in the room. Your brand is simply your reputation when you're not in the room. So if you're too generic, nobody will remember you. And I had to learn this the hard way. I spent years grinding in media without a clear personal focus. And I'd compare myself to the influencers, podcasters, lots of talent, and think, why aren't I doing as well? And finally, I realized just recently, I was missing what I tell my clients today. Hard work is a must, right? But it must be aligned with a clear message. It's no accident that if it were easy, everyone would do it. So let me give you a real example. Just hours before giving a big keynote speech, I decided to launch an app that had been the cornerstone of my talk. And my wife was furious, begging me, don't do it. The app might crash. And she was right. It crashed at 2 a.m. the morning of my speech. But I didn't back down. I somewhat ignored her. Now, rare for me, but I did it, and we went through the app live, and guess what? We ended up with almost 400 people using it simultaneously. And we'd only ever tested it with 2, me and my virtual assistant. It worked because I acted at 70% not perfect. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction. Obvious, right? When you say it, imperfect action beats perfect inaction. That story taught me as long as you have a clear vision, in this case, sharing my only framework via an app, you've got to push forward. You've got to push forward even if things feel risky. Because when you do, that payoff can be huge. Now imagine using that boldness on your business message. When you focus on one thing, you concentrate all your energy. You stop scattering yourself. Your brand app, so to speak, becomes rock solid for your niche. As my client Debbie realized, you become a one-stop shop for a painful problem. She was juggling legal advice, design, real estate, overwhelmed families, dealing with elderly care. And after we focused her message, she became the only person who does all 3 for those families. Suddenly your audience got it. No more questions, just relief. So how do you narrow your focus today? You start by asking, who is my ideal client? Really? One person, my ideal client. The more specific, the better. Are they men? Are they women? How old are they? Where are they? What job or pain do they share? What exact problem do they face? For example, instead of I help people get fit, you'd say I help busy single moms in their 40s lose 30 pounds after they've tried every diet. That's how specific you need to get. So somebody that one of my clients, Ben, he doubled down on this. A pastor turned real estate investor. He said, if I should pick one thing, it's compassion. So his niche became married couples in Columbus needing a home who also want spiritual guidance. Not every home buyer, just those families. He's now known as the pastor who grows his congregation through real estate. Specific, memorable, and he's become the only one doing that in Ohio, arguably the only one in the States. Remember Darlene's and Sharon's breakthroughs? They stopped trying to solve every problem and instead became the expert for a very specific group. That's what makes them the only. When your statement is focused, it practically muses this one person is talking right to me. By narrowing your focus, you change everything. You'll wake up excited because your marketing, emails, videos, social posts will no longer feel like shouting into the void. You'll meet new clients who instantly say, this is me. This is exactly what I needed. You become the answer to their question, their exact question. Your story, your skills, your message all line up like a laser. In the next video, lead with we're going to build on this. You'll learn how to connect those focused clients with the unique story only you can tell. The story behind why you serve that specific group. It's like the breadcrumb that leads right to your door. So make sure you narrow that focus first. Eventually, we're going to learn how to make that message irresistible by sharing your journey. So thanks for watching day 2 of the N part of the Only Framework. And remember, focus is your superpower. As you apply this, keep in mind that narrowing down actually sets you free to stand out. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, be the only. Be the $2 bill.